Was that your chair?
Yeah, I think it is my chair. I think we are live now.
Got to get all those creaks and all the new chair worn out in it, huh?
That I don't know which is noisy, my chair or my neck. Let's be honest about this right now.
I could hear your neck all the way from here. That was the neck. That was not the chair.
That was my neck. That was not my chair.
Anyways,
hey, we should
roll tape.
Let's do the thing.
Okay, cool. What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. That means it's time for the tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. And oh my gosh, this looks a little different. Like, I have to look over here to look at you now instead of, typically I just look straight ahead. But now you're over here off to the side. What's up? Anyways. Yeah, we're doing things a little differently tonight. Due to circumstances, we will be doing tagline through the beautiful StreamYard function this week instead of our normal sitting at a dining room table with blue curtains and nice lights and everything. So we're doing it this way.
And the reason why we're doing it this way tonight is because yesterday I was wearing this bad boy around my neck.
Yeah.
Because I'm still suffering from neck issues, and my chiropractor is out for Thanksgiving this entire week.
But why would you wear a glazed donut around your neck?
Because I'm just so sweet.
Ooh. Typically, when working on improv, this would be a yes and, but he's not sweet. So moving on.
So, guys, on the tagline tonight, I'm going to go ahead and host and Okay, yeah, we'll bring it
I
back.
forgot we can do that here. No.
And we both have control.
Why couldn't I just invite you on as a guest?
It's going to be a fun night.
If you say so. So those of y'all watching in the chat, thank y'all for being here at the top of the show. Let us know how this sounds. I know we do this for the Schmodown replay and pretty much anything else we do. We do this this setup here, but typically we don't do this for tagline. So let us know how it sounds, how everything is. Hopefully everything is good because, again, we do set this up for normal things. But yeah. That's awesome.
And just like this, because we're on StreamYard, we can do this. Hamstrike.
Oh, yeah.
You're watching your Deception versus Lethal Weapons episode. That's of the Schmodown replay, guys. If you guys don't know what that is, that's our reaction and watch along show for the Schmodown. Briefly confused to see this notification for this episode pop up. Yes, it's because we are live right now, and we want to thank you for popping in, even if for a second, to say hi.
And then go back and watch our other video.
And go back and continue watching our other video. It's whatever you want to do. Either way, Hamstrike, we're glad to see you.
I'm trying to see. Where is... Yeah, the nice thing about this is I can manipulate this in real time while we're not talking and you're just seeing me hovering around my computer. But yeah, anyways, again, top of the show. Thank y'all for joining us. Y'all know how it goes typically. If you got any questions, comments, there is the streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. Chris, point to it. Stop drinking your water and point to it. It's up above your head. It's not that far. There it is. There you go. Cool. If y'all have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, drop them in there. That would be fantastic. You could also do the super chat here on YouTube, but of course, Streamlabs is the most preferred venue of those questions and the money. And
because Streamlabs takes but a tiniest percentage, whereas YouTube takes a big fat chunk, and we don't like that. Because we don't want that taken from us. It's 30-something%, 33% or something like that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Come on, YouTube, get with the program.
There's also patreon.com/cinefanatics. Hit that if you would like to join our tiers. New stuff is coming Might work on it a little bit this week. We got a tiny bit of extra time due to a holiday that's going on this week. So we might be able to crank something out and get those tiers. I know we mentioned like last week or the week before the updates that we're doing to those. So that will be fully updated probably within this next week or so.
I am currently like in the final stages of getting Discord in its first draft to be up and running for everybody. So as soon as that's in place, all the tiers on the Patreon will change and all that stuff. You'll see all that stuff. So I have to get that up and running because I might be doing some fun things that require Discord also here in a little bit. So again, spooky, mysterious, and vague.
Why is your eye twitching?
No reason.
You play too many video games.
Not really.
Oh,
I'd like to though. I'd like to play too many video games.
You should start. Maybe playing video games will keep your eye from twitching.
Right?
Anyways.
Now, if only the twitches I actually do normally throughout the day in my eye were intentional.
Yeah. Anyways, so hop on Patreon. We got that. And how are you doing this past week?
Check.
I know.
The
nice thing about this is the second monitor, so I could just hop over here, like look at the show notes, and back to the camera, back to the show notes.
I've got a second monitor too. It's called my laptop.
But
no. How was I doing this week? This week was great. Starting Saturday.
Well, no one wants to hear about that. Let's talk about good things. What's good that's happened to you this week? You haven't completely collapsed due to your neck issues, so that's a good thing.
Look, I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I believe that the future will get brighter, so I got to just hang in there still. And
well, that's because I'm getting you another light for your setup there. So yeah, your future will get brighter.
Are you?
I don't know.
When did that happen? When did what?
I was trying to make a light joke, not a heavy joke, just a light joke, and you completely ruined it. So, moving on anyways. Keep it rolling, go. Let's go.
Okay. Moving on. What do you have next?
So, I've been fine this past week. A lot of work catching up on. It's been a lot of fun. So this past week, and I'll go ahead and plug it real quick. This past week, I've been working on a video for Call to Action.
Nice.
Hence the shirt, I guess.
Look at him shilling.
These are really comfy shirts, though.
I'm shilling for American Eagle. Where is it? Right here.
So I've been working on a video for them, plugging a guest that they have coming up on Chill to Action. So I was just wanting to make a promo video, much like Eric Rodriguez, Nerd Chronic from the movie Trivia Schmodown. So I had a lot of fun with it. Hope everyone liked it.
It's a guess that we got first.
The what?
It's a guess that we got first.
Sure. Anyways, so I had a lot of fun making that video with that. But yeah, haven't really watched any. Haven't watched anything new, any new movies, other than watching that Fresh Prince reunion,
which I did last night too. So I'm sort of about in the same
that was
boat here.
fantastic. But
I cried about 1,000 times. So yeah, that's why my eyes are a little salty today. Can't see out of them.
There is one that I want to see that just came out. It's on Hulu. And it's called Run. No, I watched the first episode of that and I was like, some of it was cute, but there's some of it I'm like, like I can understand why that's a little iffy. Malcolm saying you just watched Freaky today. I want to watch that.
How is it,
I want to see that. And I was planning on watching it probably within the next like couple of days, and then they announced that it's about to go video on demand like in a week or so. I was like, I'll probably just wait for the video on demand in this case. In this point,
definitely for that one.
Huh?
Definitely for that one. I would. It's not like a big movie that has to be seen in the theaters, kind of a situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a Black Widow or I don't know, Endgame, Wonder Woman 84. You know, movies that you should see in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that came out on Hulu this week. It's called Run with Sarah Paulson.
Oh yeah, I saw the commercials and stuff for that.
That one looked kind of interesting. I've heard a couple of good things about it, so I kind of want to see that. I thought that might be interesting, but I haven't got a time to get to it yet because busy person constantly. But yeah, as far as new movies this week, I haven't seen any. You haven't seen any either, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I cannot recall. And because I cannot recall, I will say that I have not.
Mm-hmm. We did do the watch along of Demolition Man with Andres Gallego this past weekend. That was a lot of fun.
And if you have not seen that and you want to see that, it's on our Patreon. Feel free to hop on that Patreon at the $5 tier. You'll get that watch along for Demolition Man with us and Andres, and it was a ton of fun. It was a good little time there, and worth it for you to check out, as well as our other watch alongs that we've done on Patreon.
Yeah. Malcolm is saying it's done by the same person that made Searching. Were you talking about Freaky? Because I think Freaky is done by Christopher Landon, who also did the Happy Death Day movies. And supposedly they may actually be connected in the same universe. So that'd be kind of cool.
I liked Searching though. Searching was really good.
Oh, I don't know if he was maybe talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, the Janet and the Will part of that was, yeah.
Yep, that had me like the first thing that had me on that one was like the James Avery stuff, and I was like, oh, damn. And then the Janet and Will stuff, I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, talking about Run. Okay, yeah.
That's the sound I make when I start crying over things. And
then, of course, Garth. Paparazzi tracker Will Smith goes by following the Fresh Prince.
Nice.
What's up, Tyler? What is up with you?
Asad, dude.
So yeah, that's it for probably all our personal stuff. That was real quick. We should do it on the StreamYard to get through all that stuff real fast. Let's get to some movie news right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Where's my bat?
Yeah. We don't have a bat. We're not sports people. We like movies.
No, I have a bat.
Oh, you do have a bat. It's over by your door. Yeah. You don't want to get up and go get it.
It's what I grab when people start busting into our apartment unannounced.
I just walk out and go choke some fools. What are you doing in here? My cat will attack them.
There's a little bit more of a distance between my room and the door, so I need to have a weapon.
Yeah.
At least that's how I justify that.
So movie news coming in this week. So last week on the tagline, we talked about this possibility of Wonder Woman 84 going to the streaming. That was Tuesday of last week. Wednesday morning, it was announced
that it's going to streaming.
It was actually shown in theaters December 25th, 1984.
Yeah.
And on HBO Max at no extra cost to subscribers.
It's been out on HBO Max and theaters since 1984. We missed our review for that one, dude.
Yeah, I wonder if people will still be interested if we reviewed that.
So Wonder Woman 1984 was a fantastic success. It was a great achievement in making a sequel to the original Wonder Woman movie.
Which came out after the sequel.
Yeah, and what I think was fantastic is that the effects work in that movie were just leaps and bounds better than anything else you'd think you'd see in the middle of the 80s.
Yeah, I saw those effects leaping and bounding. They were definitely doing that. They were fantastic leaping and bounding. Abundant of leaps and bounds, I should say. The
fur texture on Kristen Wiig, who amazingly...
She was furry like a wig.
I did not know that they could get Kristen Wiig to portray that character this early in her career.
Mm-hmm. Well, you would think wigs would be hairy, but nope, surprisingly furry. Go figure.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Gal Gadot in this was an infant.
Well, that would be if you were pronouncing her name right. I mean, this is like Andres Gallego that took us, or Gallego, as you can see, took us a couple of tries to get her name right, and so therefore you might be talking about an entirely different person.
Well, No, because what I'm thinking, no, I take it back. Gal Gadot was not an infant. She was not even a fetus in this movie.
Well, it was nice having this conversation with you, Chris.
Yeah, so that's our review for Wonder Woman 1984. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll check it out in theaters and on HBO Max. Not real soon, about 30 some odd years ago.
So this movie it's being released on HBO Max the same day, and then apparently, I guess, like after like a month or so, then it's going to be exclusive to VOD, and you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 31 days on HBO Max and theaters, 29-day theater exclusivity, and then video on demand after that. So that's gonna be interesting. And this is the part where I was kind of torn on this because I do work for a cable company. I get HBO for free, which means I have access to HBO Max for free as well. So we have complete free access to watch Wonder Woman 84 when it comes out on Christmas Day, because we're probably not doing anything that day anyway, so we might as well just wake up and watch it. But the thing is, at the same time, we have a perfectly good Alamo Drafthouse like right down the road from us that is, as of right now, is still open and might probably still be open, I don't know, come Christmas Day, that we could also just drag our happy butts down to and watch it there.
So you got that, and then you got the theater we usually go to, which isn't typically the Alamo Drafthouse, but the one we usually go to usually is pretty clean and whatnot. So if it's available there, I'd say we're going straight there, because I still want to see Wonder Woman on the big screen, and if there's a possibility to do so in a safe, clean environment, probably gonna go ahead and do it.
I went there. I actually did go there the other day with a friend. We caught up and watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Classic Thanksgiving movie. Absolutely love that movie still. My friend had never seen it, and she thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yeah. But yeah, they did a really good job. It was clean. The way that they would have us come in and leave the theater, keeping away from everyone, social distance, everything was perfect. I sat in the back so no one could sit behind me, coughing and sneezing in front. Sneezing out towards me. So yeah, I would say it's pretty nicely done. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, this movie was meant to be seen in a theater. We're more likely going to just go see it in the theater.
Yeah. What's cool though is it's like, hey, what happened in that movie? I want to try to remember this specific piece for our review later. Let's pop on HBO Max real quick and just turn it back on. Yeah, they're not doing a premium price on it. You are just going to get it if you have HBO Max, which that's the question. And what I wonder is, are they doing I didn't see if they said this or not. Are they doing a block on it so that you can't just sign up for a free trial just to see Wonder Woman? You actually have to sign up, wait the 7 days, and then you can see Wonder Woman.
I'm not sure, because that's what Disney Plus did with Hamilton. Yeah. When Hamilton came out, you couldn't just sign up for the free 7-day trial and watch Hamilton and then cancel your subscription. You had to sign up and wait those 7 days, and then you had access when they could actually charge you for it. So I don't know. They might do that with HBO Max, but I don't remember reading anything about that yet.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, honestly, that is the smartest decision, because you want to make sure, look, we're going to try to make some money off of this thing. I think between that, I think if Black Widow goes to Disney Plus, this is what they need to be doing. It's hey, look, we understand you're not just going to get to use your free trial on this movie that should have been a first run in theater. It's fair play. I believe that's completely fair play to do that.
Yeah.
Actually sign up.
Yeah, so Garth said he's bummed. Wish they pushed it to the summer 2021 instead, so they could earn more money, get bigger audience in the theaters. And I think that was part of, I think, what is it? Yeah. So Malcolm's kind of saying that summer 2021 is now already packed, because they had a couple of movies, I'm going to say themselves, referring to summer 2021 like it was its own group of people. But so they already had a set of movies that were supposed to come out, and now they are also being crowded with the 2020 movies that are crowding in. So it's like a giant New York subway, which I've never been on. So I don't know how I'm actually making that comparison, but I feel like I know enough about the New York subway system to make that a logical connection, and just everyone watching, just y'all all understand what I mean by when I say that.
As somebody who's been on the New York subway system, shut your face.
It's like the 405 in LA.
As someone who's actually driven on the 405 anytime we've been to LA.
Yeah, I've never driven in LA.
Nope. That's because you make your little brother do it, you rat mother. Yeah, so I don't know, because here's the thing, like when we talk about movies coming into the theaters next summer, if we look at the world as a whole, I know there's many countries right now, especially as we talk about Malcolm. Malcolm lives over in New Zealand.
He hopes the world as a whole, and not like a quarter.
So New Zealand's doing great.
Yeah,
they can have theaters up and running, and just if the movies are going to run first run, bring them on, and it's perfectly fine. Many countries in the world are like that. America is not. America is not like that right now. So right now, when we're talking about summer 2021, we're still talking about, hey, we might still be in this as a vaccine is trying to roll out, which does not preclude that we're going to get a whole lot of really good stuff even into next summer. There will probably come a point where movie studios are either going put it on streaming, or you know what, we're just going to put it out in theaters, and what we get is what we get. And I think that's kind of what you're going to start seeing, especially as a bunch of theaters across the world can handle these movies while America can't. I think that's the way they got to go with that. So we'll see.
Garth is the Boston T subway is one of the oldest. We have some of the, so he's mentioning one that he knows that I know that one because me and him have talked that I've been to Boston before. So I am familiar at least with that system. And that one really wasn't crowded, and we went on like a Boston Marathon weekend, so there should have been a lot of people there, and the subway just really wasn't bad, or the T, I should say. It's not necessarily a subway in some places.
The New York subway is it's definitely a
subway.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway.
Yeah, so we're probably still going to go see Wonder Woman in the theater Christmas Day, and as of right now, I guess we can plan for that and plan on having our review out. Hopefully, maybe like that evening or so, depending on what exactly we decide to do for Christmas.
What day is Christmas Day?
Was it? It's a Friday. Is it a Friday or a Saturday?
It is a Friday.
Yeah, so it's a Friday.
We'll probably end up taking
movies come out anyways.
Yeah, duh. I'll probably end up taking that day off. Maybe go see it early enough to get the review done and then pumped out the same day. But we'll see. Same day, next day.
I wonder if there's going to be like a late night Thursday showing.
That's true. Maybe
we could possibly do that. And anyways, you see us plan things in real time here live in front of you. So moving on, I did want to go back and touch upon. So we asked Tyler how he's doing. He's saying still quarantined until December 2nd since his mom's got the corona. Dad and I are I can't say
relegated.
That word. Relegated. I see all the letters. I know how they sound. I just can't say it.
Dad and I are regulated.
Regulated. Regulators. Regulating and stealing of this property. We're damn good too. Yeah. So yeah, I hope she gets better, Tyler. I know my direct manager at work, she's had it already. She's told us the effects of it. So yeah, I'm hoping y'all are taking care because it does not sound like something I'd want anyone that I know to get. So
sounds like fun times, he said sarcastically.
Yeah. Yeah, New York subway also has elevated trains like Boston. Remember Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next story?
Next story, moving on. While we're talking about movies that are supposed to be coming out this year that are going to streaming, which is a recurring theme on any channel that's talking about movie news in the year of 2020, the year of our Lord. No, not the year of our Lord.
The year of our maybe not this year. Maybe not this year is the year of our Lord.
Maybe like the year of Satan. I don't know. The next
don't
one
give
moving
him
out.
that. You don't give him that at all.
Satan's like, man, I wish I thought of like a pandemic. Man, that's creative right there.
Moving on to the next subject.
Yeah. Coming to America has been pushed to March from December, and it's going to premiere on Amazon Prime. Here's the thing, like we were talking about the levels of movies going to a streaming platform, just a straight stream. And I know like a couple of weeks back, we did comparisons to movies coming straight out on streaming. I would have compared to back in the 90s when you had movies just go straight to video, straight to VHS, straight to DVD, which were typically those movies that were like, I mean, you could look at the cover or the poster and be like, yeah, that's going to be of lesser quality. That probably just needs to go straight to video. And you could tell by looking at it.
It's going to be in the $2 bin here shortly.
Yeah. So again, with the pandemic going on, it's really hard to say that because there are movies. I'll be honest. When I first saw the preview for Scoob, I would have thought like Scoob could possibly be a straight to video on demand or straight to video movie. I mean, it did end up going straight to video on demand, and I watched it. And I was like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was pretty decent. It was a fun, fine family film with a couple of really clever, cute moments in it. So that one I felt like, that one probably really should have still been in the theater, but I understand that. Coming to America, the first one is a classic. I love the original Coming to America. Fantastic movie. And while I was probably originally on board with the idea of, I don't think you need to make a sequel to that. I've read like what the sequel is about, and I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. Mm-hmm. Especially because you got like Eddie Murphy coming back on it, and I know Eddie Murphy doesn't have the greatest track history, but watching his
as of late though.
Yeah, watching was it My Name is Dolomite? That was really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm kind of eager to see this movie, but I don't know.
I think it begs the question though, is like for a lot of these comedy movies, is it necessary for them to go to the theater? Do you think that so these kinds of movies, typically their budget isn't going to be as big as say your bigger blockbusters, your bigger like Oscar baity dramas, all those kinds of stuff. So they don't necessarily have as much of a budget that they need to make back necessarily. So I don't see any reason why a lot of these can't go to say a streaming service and still actually succeed pretty well. Same goes with animation also. Why you see like Soul going from Pixar going from theater to Disney Plus. It's gonna do well on Disney Plus, and they're probably gonna end up making their money back on that movie doing that anyway.
Except Hamstrock's making it a point, and this is what I was thinking as you were saying that comedies always work better with audiences. You're in a full theater watching a comedy, you're going to laugh because everyone around you is laughing. There's a subconscious thing in you that's like, oh, people find this funny. I'm going to find it funny too, and you laugh at it. There's been plenty of movies that I've watched that like I've been like, but it's because there's been a group of people around me all laughing. I found funnier. It heightened the experience of it. That's the only reason I would say definitely for that kind of a movie for it to be in a theater.
So I don't know. I think I don't think this is necessarily a bad choice. I mean, obviously there's only so many options that movies right now, as we've covered just slightly before this, have to release their movies this year or even at the beginning of next year. So, you want to see it in the theaters. You want to have that experience with the audience there. But in the situation we're in, I think that moving it to Amazon is not necessarily a bad choice. But what's interesting to me is why they're moving it to Amazon and pushing it to was it March next year?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that its original release date was supposed to be this year, supposed to be towards the end of this year. So I'm not sure why they couldn't keep it like a December release on Amazon
because of marketing.
January.
marketing. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a poster. We haven't seen a commercial, a trailer. We've seen I don't think we've even seen any pictures. We've seen nothing about this movie yet. They can't turn around and say, okay, well, it's going to come out and here's all of our marketing material all right now, right here for you. Spend the next 3 weeks before this movie comes up looking at all of our marketing material.
I don't know. I mean, how well did Borat do?
But
had about a month.
But Borat's a certain type of movie, and
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though, because what you have here is you have a movie that came out and only had marketing within a month prior to its coming out, and as far as we can tell right now, it's been a pretty big success. It had a lot of people talking. Granted, yes, I get maybe your perspective. What you're coming up with is political relevancy for what was being shown in the movie at that time. Still, you have a movie that had marketing for only a month and still had a ton of viewership.
And that's not even what I was thinking, but you brought up probably the best point in Borat's favor is you had the election day was coming up. It was primed to be released before election day. That's what made it so good, and that's probably what helped drive a lot of attention to it, because you heard either about the election or Borat for 2-3 weeks solid. That was all anyone was talking about. So I can see it for that. I mean, I was thinking more of Borat just because of the type of movie it is. It is more of a sketch comedy bits put together to form a thin comedy. This is a sequel to a very beloved movie with Coming to America. I feel like the people who made this movie, they want to take the time to let people see all the marketing and build up that hype just through pure releasing the trailers and pictures and posters and stuff. And that's why I think they pushed it back.
That's why I could see them pushing it to say January, because January's typically for movie releases anyway in the theater. January is typically a fairly dead month. So that's what I was thinking.
Not this year.
We'll see. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. It's got my interest, got my eyes on it.
Yeah.
What's next?
Next is, once again, this is almost getting about as bad as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, with the amount of reboots that they keep doing for the Predator franchise.
The Predator.
Now that Disney owns everything Fox related, that includes the Aliens and the Predator franchise. So of course they want to reboot Predator again after how many reboots have we gotten from this? That Shane Black one, that last one we got was just kind of, it really was not that good. I was not a huge fan. I love Predator. I even like Predator 2. I'm still going to always complain that you have Predator 1 where he fights this big, massive Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then the second one he just goes after Danny Glover. Okay. So I'm still a fan of the idea of Predator 2, that he's in the city this time instead of the jungle. But what was that other movie? There was Predators done by Robert Rodriguez. Kind of had a cool idea about it, in which the people were instead of predators coming to Earth and hunting, they just brought the people to the predator homeworld and hunted them there.
Did a most dangerous game kind of a situation.
Yeah, which a cool idea. But you put Adrian Brody in it. Same thing. We started with Schwarzenegger, and we are seemingly working our way down to the skinniest, scrawniest, most non-action movie actor ever.
Which allows me to make this great announcement, guys. This upcoming Predator reboot's going to star yours truly.
I mean, that holds water. That's tracking. That's seemingly where it goes, because we live in Austin. So therefore you talk to Robert Rodriguez, you got on the inside of it. And so you'll be in the next Predator movie.
Nailed it. Got it, guys. I'm glad you all were here. We had several viewers here able to see that announcement. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And so like Star Wars, I'll show up for any Predator studios want to throw at me. that's the sad thing. Like, I will too. I love Predator. I love Alien. I'm a sucker for having to see these movies and then realize, wow, that was a terrible movie. I should not have seen that. But I'll still go see the next one anyways.
What I think is interesting is, and you said it, and then Garth is over here saying it too, that Shane Black's Predator movie was bad. We're looking at Dan Trachtenberg right now is on board to direct this, and we know him from 10 Cloverfield Lane. Mm-hmm. You're taking the tone and the style of 10 Cloverfield Lane, and you're saying that's the same director who's going to be helming the next Predator movie. Okay, that's fascinating. The thing is that I know it's hard to actually like determine how a director is going to be in one movie based off their prior work, because we had the Community guys who gave us the highest grossing movie of all time in Endgame. So I mean, you can't go off that. I think it's a very interesting choice, though. The Predator movies aren't my cup of tea. Again, like, I'm not one that flocks to just absolute physical violence against humans. I'm not like a gore fan. That's not. It doesn't hit me the same way as it hits other people.
But you've watched the first one, because the first one really, for the most part, the first one really was not that gory. Surprisingly,
yeah. No, I've seen the first one, but even as a storyline, I'm just not really that interested in Predator to begin with. Mm-hmm. So this movie's going to probably miss me completely anyway, no matter what, no matter who the director is. And that's fine. But so I turn it to you, like, you see Dan Trachtenberg, you see, what it sounds like they want to do based off very minimal information so far. I mean, besides the fact that Predator just in name alone has you, is there any other kind of excitement for this?
The story so far that's been released is that this movie's going to take place in the past. So while it is a reboot, it might be essentially a prequel to the original 87 Predator. This was going to take place in the past, back when like Native Americans ruled this fine country. And that he's basically going up against I believe they're saying it's like a Comanche Native American woman. He's going up against a woman in this, which is a fantastic idea. You're breaking a couple of norms with this. So you are making a subplot of like Native Americans, which is great because that goes back to, say, Schwarzenegger's Dutch at the end of the first movie, where he basically learns how to defend himself with the land. Very likely, like going back into Native American past, that's probably what you're going to see a lot of. So a lot of like homemade arrows, arrowheads, spears, stuff like that. But including if they really are making the lead person is going to be a woman, that's great, because that brings in almost essentially like a Ripley type of warrior in this movie. And I think that's kind of like what I was saying. We're going from Schwarzenegger to Glover, the Adrian Brody. I think bringing in like a powerful woman like Sigourney Weaver, or like even Linda Hamilton in Terminator, would be fantastic for this series. We kind of sort of got a little something like that with AVP, where Predator was teamed up with Sanaa Lathan, and they worked well together. But it really wasn't like a knockout, drag out fight with her and the Predator. It was more of her just like as the Predator's sidekick. But kind of going based off of that idea, I think this would be fantastic for the direction of this movie to go. But again, I'm back to the fact that the previous Predator movies haven't been that great, even though they've been done by really good directors. Robert Rodriguez is fantastic. Shane Black has done some really good things. I say that trepidatiously, that word that I can't say. I say that, I don't say the word. I say that cautiously because I'm not a huge fan of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I know the word you were trying to say, but I can't even form it in my own head now because I heard you say that.
Let's just blow past it. This isn't the grammar fanatics. This is the cine fanatics. We're going to talk about a movie. And unless that movie's in subtitles, I'm not even trying that. So cautiously. Just say cautiously. There's a thesaurus. I can say thesaurus. It's a type of dinosaur.
Thesaurus.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of iffy on Shane Black. Now, the thing with Dan Trachtenberg, I actually did like 10 Cloverfield Lane. I thought that movie was done very well, even though it kind of seemed like it was kind of shoehorned into being a part of the Cloverfield universe. And I didn't even see that other Cloverfield movie, whichever one that premiered like directly after the Super Bowl
on Netflix.
Was that on Netflix? Yeah.
The
Cloverfield Paradox or something like that.
Yep. Breaking news, this just in. The word is trepidatiously.
Yes, that word. Why is that breaking news?
Because I just read it on my phone.
The Grammar Fanatics is your other channel, right? No, that's the Cinnamon Fanatics. That's where we spend every episode seriously going over the different kinds of cinnamon and ranking them on the cinnamon scale. So make sure you check that out, the Cinnamon Fanatics.
Spoiler alert,
comment, and subscribe.
Spoiler alert, Brazilian cinnamon is currently the #1 spot.
It's gonna take a lot to dethrone that, but I do believe the Madagascar cinnamon has a shot.
Whoa. Let's not give away all of our content from that channel on this channel. You guys are gonna have to go to that channel to see this.
So you can check out that channel by clicking on the iCard that's right up here in this corner. Oh, there's no iCard up there. We're live.
Yeah, you don't have iCards during live shows.
Anyways, Google it. Just Google the Cinnamon Fanatics. If you actually find something, let me know because that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, we're serious about our cinnamon.
I'm very serious. Next story. What we're talking about more and more online streaming stuff being pushed. Apparently, Disney has a plan to take all of its live-action remakes and just send them straight to Disney Plus.
Push it real good.
Boom, 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 boom.
Push it.
I just love that Geico commercial when the woman's like going into labor and like Salt and Pepper in the delivery room going like push it, and they're like, baby. That's so fun. I love that commercial. He's mowing the lawn. They're like, push it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so a lot of their live actions, it looks like are going to be pushed to the Disney Plus. From what I've seen, I know that it sounds like for sure Cruella definitely is going in that direction. I'm not sure what other like live actions they're really working on. I think they said they're working on a Peter Pan. I believe that they've still been working on that anthropomorphic animal live action Robin Hood, which makes no sense to be live action whatsoever, but here we are, I guess. Still can't make it.
That one might actually be interesting.
No, it won't be interesting at all, especially after I've seen Lion King. Yeah, again, where's Atlantis at? Who knows?
They also got Lilo and Stitch. They're doing a live action Lilo and Stitch.
Which that was, I think, the first one I heard that was going to be pushed to Disney Plus. Like they were just straight up going to do that one for Disney Plus anyway. So it's kind of interesting idea to what are we going to do with these live actions? Well, especially again, Lion King, not great, made $1 billion. So is that really the move that Disney wants to make? While these movies critically aren't fantastic for the most part, they financially are da bomb.
Interesting, like story-wise, The Lion King didn't have that bad of a story. There were a few little changes made from the animated. Some of them made sense as to why you had to change it. Some of them, I was like, okay, I don't know why, but whatever. I'll go with it. Someone somewhere felt the need to make the change. The number one issue with Lion King, unfortunately, what really was that the animals don't emote the same way animated cartoons do.
Yeah,
that was it. If
Dad.
they figured out a way to do that, that movie would have been phenomenal.
Dad,
I believe.
Dad, no, you're dead now, Dad. Oh no, Dad. Oh, Dad, no. Oh.
Wow, you look just like I did when our father passed away.
Oh
wait, he's still alive. Never mind. That was awkward.
Robert,
I
awkward Adam.
I should send him a card. Dear
Mm.
Dad, good job on still being alive. So yeah, that was all that it would have taken to make that movie good. And I think, then there was Aladdin, which all that would have taken to make that movie good is just a completely different movie altogether.
False. I enjoyed that movie. There's parts of it I didn't like, but for the most part, I actually did enjoy Aladdin.
Okay. But yeah, so they want to push the other remakes. I'm guessing it's because, unfortunately, there has been constant bad word of mouth on these remakes, with Mulan being the latest entry. Now, I didn't think Mulan, again, same thing. I didn't think it was terrible, but there were so many changes that were drastic from the cartoon. Again, some of them I understand why, some of them I don't, but
he's not.
So he's in bed already. He was in bed 2 hours before this video started.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
And he also doesn't know how to use YouTube probably. So I don't know. Maybe. So I mean, Mulan had some faults to it, and I think Mulan's biggest fault was the fact that it didn't play in the theaters. That it did go, that weird $30 like playing on Disney Plus, I think really hurt it. And I think it's kind of hard to really gauge its performance.
Yeah, what I'm noticing with a lot of these, and I will say this for Aladdin and Lion King, not completely. Did I say Aladdin? Mulan and Lion King. I'll say this for Mulan and Lion King, not completely Aladdin, but maybe a little bit. I can see where it is in places. A lot of these movies lose their heart when they become live action. And I don't know what it is that does that. Mulan, for all intents and purposes, if that was the first ever iteration of Mulan that we saw, we never saw the animated version and we only saw that one. Fantastic. Would have been great. The problem is that we have the animated, and I think that's the problem with a lot of these live action remakes, is that we've had the animated ones to fall back on, and we can recall the heart, the feelings, the emotions we had when we were younger seeing these animated movies. And these movies cannot be topped for us. Now, can you play the new Lion King for a child nowadays who hasn't seen the first Lion King? Which, why would you do that, you horrible human being?
Bad parent.
Yeah, show them the animated version. Can you play the new one though, which again is still animated? Can you play that one for them and it affect them like the original animated version affected us? Maybe that's true, but for us, for our viewership, the live action Disney movies are kind of lackluster because they don't have the heart the original did. The new Mulan was great, did not have the same heart that the original did. And I think that's the issue that we're going to keep seeing in a lot of these. And that's why I actually push for, yeah, right. And then this is why I keep pushing also for Atlantis, because Atlantis isn't necessarily a movie that is driven on having heart. It is a movie that works more so based on just the fun characters, which you can still have the fun characters in live action. That whole movie, the action, everything in it is set up perfectly for live action. And that's the one I want to see, not necessarily all these other movies. And I don't even know how I feel yet about a Cruella specific movie.
Well, I mean, we kind of had that already with the Glenn Close version. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like, we're not necessarily remaking 101 Dalmatians. It sounds more like the animated 101 Dalmatians. It sounds like we're remaking the live action Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians, but more of a focus on a younger Cruella de Vil, which I don't know. That's kind of going back to like Maleficent as well.
Yeah, I will say this though. It's been a very long time since I saw the Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians, but that is, if I remember correctly, that is a movie that actually didn't lose the heart from the animated to the live action jump.
Well, here's the thing though. How many times did you watch the original 101 Dalmatians as a kid?
Oh, I don't even remember that either.
Like once? You're like, okay, there's a movie about dogs. Moving on.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also because that particular movie came out, like, say, before you were born. How many Disney animated movies do you have a connection with, like a personal connection with, that came out before you were born?
Almost none of them.
Yeah. I mean, I really, like, I grew up watching Pinocchio and Dumbo. So, like, I have, like, really good connections to those particular movies.
Yeah, all the Disney movies that came out after I was born are the ones I have a connection with. Aladdin, Lion King, Pixar in general.
Yeah. But, like, not even Little Mermaid, because that came out the same year.
Literally the same year, yeah.
Yeah. So the Little Mermaid one, like, that's the one I'm also wondering, like, are you going to get the heart in that one?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, the problem with that is, the stakes that are already involved in it, much like Lion King, what was being set up. I don't know. But I kind of like the idea of moving these to the Disney Plus until, I would say, they find their footing.
Yeah.
I might venture a guess is, like, say, Little Mermaid, put that up on the movie theater, because that was a big Disney release. That Little Mermaid was really the one that kind of jump started the whole new Disney animated renaissance.
Yeah.
And, like, that one I could see going in a theater in front of a live audience. But
now, keep in mind also, from what I hear, like, I still haven't gone back and watched the Cinderella live action. I heard that one was actually really good.
That one wasn't too bad.
Beauty and the Beast wasn't too bad. Beauty and the Beast was actually pretty decent.
Beauty and the Beast, they added stuff to it that was like, and then the way they made the Beast look was just kind of oof.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. The one that I still like, though, is Jungle Book. I think Jungle Book they did a pretty good job with.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, yeah, Little Mermaid, I think we're gonna have the same issue as Mulan, Lion King. I do think it's probably gonna be missing the heart, and God save her soul. I know she's actually a really good actress, but I am not on board yet with Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. That right there is kind of is a giant red flag for me in terms of, is this movie going to have the heart and the quality that the original did? I could easily be wrong. It could easily turn out being the greatest casting decision of all time. And I know on paper it doesn't necessarily even sound like a bad casting decision. It just feels like a red flag for me.
I will say, as someone who did grow up watching Little Mermaid as well, I could see it. I think Melissa McCarthy as Ursula is fantastic casting, and I am eager to see her take on that role. I'm wondering, though, like, when you get Melissa McCarthy, is she going to play a little bit of a little more humor with it, or is she going to play it just straight like evil? Because I know there were things like in the original cartoon where she was talking about, like, at one point she grabbed a like kelp or something and rubbed her butt on it, and she's talking about the importance of body language, something like that. I could see Melissa McCarthy kind of like hamming it up, and it would work well in her wheelhouse of comedy. But I don't I don't know how, like, Melissa McCarthy will be able just to knock out that, like, serious evil sea witch type of look to her. And that's what I'm kind of wanting to see. And I think if she nails that, that could be one of the saving graces of that movie. But I also, the girl playing Ariel, I don't know anything about her. I don't even know her name off the top of my head as of this second.
Haley Berry, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
No close to Hallie.
Yeah. Again, I don't know anything about her, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect from her in this movie yet.
Yeah, I think she was just like a Disney Channel star. She's got a good singing voice, and that's kind of the main reasons why they went for her.
I'm also wondering how they're going to computer animate Flounder, Sebastian, and Scuttle.
Yeah.
Flotsam and Jetsam, and yeah.
We'll see. I like Malcolm's point here, or what he's saying here is he thinks Pinocchio is the other one they're putting up to Disney Plus with Tom Hanks as Geppetto and Ewan McGregor as Jiminy. Yes,
that's fantastic casting.
I believe I have heard of this, and that, again, trepidatiously, because of prior live action Disney movies, they're all kind of, I'm all kind of like on pretty much every single one of them. This kind of has me a little excited, just because Tom Hanks and Ewan McGregor are like two of my favorites.
There's a thing though, like I was saying, Pinocchio was one of the cartoons I grew up watching a lot. There really wasn't much Geppetto in that movie. It really was like Geppetto was there at the beginning and then the whole thing at the end with the whale. Otherwise, you saw Geppetto every once in a while. He really was not a major part of that movie. So it's kind of weird that if you're going to cast Tom Hanks, I mean, great casting, but I would assume that we're going to see more of Tom Hanks in that movie than we actually saw of Geppetto in the cartoon.
Yeah, it could just take the story in a different direction. I see Tom Hanks being a part of this story, like Christoph Waltz's character in Alita being a part of Alita's story.
Yeah,
kind of work into that effect. So,
yeah. Otherwise, I do like Ewan McGregor as Jiminy Cricket. I just hope he sings, which we know he can sing from Moulin Rouge. I just hope he sings "When You Wish Upon a Star," and then as he's landing with like his little umbrella on the table, and he starts like addressing the audience or whatever. First thing out of his mouth, "Hello there." That would be fantastic. I would like, okay.
Jiminy! Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy!
General Grievous, you don't have a conscience. May I be of service? Anyways, we could sit here and just play around with Disney movies all day, I think, but let's move on to something a little more R-rated, I would say.
Oh, Predator again?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna talk about Predator again because he is kind of a part of this discussion as well. It's just an overall Disney R-rated discussion. So that's
way,
right.
You guys are seeing this for the first time. Just side note real quick before you actually move on. Anytime we talk about Predator in the future, I'm only going to refer to him as Predator.
Okay, grammar fanatics.
I've got reasons. Just carry on now.
Sure. Anyway, so that's right. We are now tackling our main topic of the evening. So Ewan McGregor's Mary Poppins, y'all, with his umbrella. Yep. Nice. Oh yeah, I forgot we could click on them here. There you go, Malcolm. Clicked on your comment. So it's been announced that Disney is okay with doing an R-rated Deadpool 3. We're going to get Deadpool 3. Disney is behind making it R-rated. And apparently we got the writers from Bob's Burgers on board with this one.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering where that lies in. Like, what? There was nothing wrong with, was it Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese? Or, yeah, there was nothing wrong with them. Why are we replacing the writers?
Any myriad of reasons. Maybe they can't do it for some reason on Disney's new production timetable, or they just want to mix up the tone. They actually want to go with someone different to breathe new life into the Deadpool franchise. I don't know. Any number of reasons, contracts, all this, blah, 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 money, you know how it is.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's a part of the group that made the original Deadpool so good.
Yeah.
In that, like, it was really the combination of the director Tim Miller, Ryan Reynolds, and the writers all coming together to really make that movie shine the way it did. In fact, it's still constantly rumored that it was someone in that group that leaked that trailer footage before that made the movie get greenlit. So
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
But so we're going to go with new writers on this. So that's the only real caution I have on it. The only thing though is okay. So they're busy working on the new Clue movie, which, okay, fantastic. I would love to see their take on Clue.
Yeah.
But
actually, I'm really into that idea, to be honest.
The thing is when you're talking about the writers of a Deadpool movie, the first thing that pops in my head is like, okay, you've got writers for this movie, but isn't pretty much most of that movie just ad-libbed by Ryan Reynolds the entire time anyways? Like, it really, if you've seen enough Ryan Reynolds movies where he's just allowed to be himself, you see like the same kind of pattern, the same kind of acting that comes from him. Not complaining at all, because I love that version of Ryan Reynolds. It's the saving grace of Blade Trinity, I would say, is that every time he opens his mouth, he shoots off one of those one-liners, and it was fantastic. It's the same, that Hannibal King is Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love him for that. That's what I want to see. I want to see that Deadpool. So I'm wondering what the writers add to it other than like the story that's just connecting it all.
I mean, that's a big piece. It is the story. They're not gonna bring on writers at this point in the game. They're not gonna bring on writers who don't have some idea of the character of Deadpool, even with Ryan Reynolds knowing a lot about Deadpool at this point too. That's just how it's gonna work. They're not gonna bring people on who don't know the story. They don't know how the character talks. They're not familiar with how Ryan Reynolds has portrayed him before. And so I think the writers do actually hold a whole lot of water here. They're gonna write the character the way that you expect him to be written. So I think what's really interesting to me though isn't necessarily about the writers of Bob's Burgers, because to be fair and to be completely honest, I've never watched Bob's Burgers, and most of these like animated shows on TV they haven't really captured my interest typically ever. I mean, I'll probably pop on like Family Guy every now and then, but that's almost about it. So I think what has most of my interest here though is that we are getting a Deadpool 3. It's going to be keeping in the same tones as the Deadpool before. It's going to still have that R rating, and it's going to have the Marvel Studios Disney money backing it now.
And it's actually gonna supposedly be a part of the MCU. Like they're just shoving it straight into the MCU and just moving on with it. Like, all right.
It's the weird thing about it though, because it's carrying on the same story as the prior two Deadpools, in which case you had the First Class Mutants of X-Men, which are loosely still connected to the original X-Men that happened way back in the first like trilogy of X-Men, and then all this, and it's still connected to
yeah. So while my brother is recovering from a brain aneurysm from thinking about just the multitude of plot holes and just the convoluted storylines that Marvel has done throughout all their movies.
Messy timeline.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this could be something that could be included, like when they go and they do Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or WandaVision, which looks like it's seemingly also maybe pulling from different types of dimensions or multiverses or something like that. And then also the next Spider-Man movie also is seemingly playing with this idea. So I think if all these movies are already possibly hinting at the multiverse, could Deadpool just be sucked from the Fox X-Men movies over to the MCU, and it just continues from there? So gone are his friendships with Colossus and Negasonic, and it's just him on his own now. Hopefully maybe Vanessa's still in tow, because I kind of like their relationship, and I was also one of those people. I wasn't a huge fan of the fact that the entire plot of Deadpool 2 was surrounded by the fact that they had to kill off Vanessa at the beginning, but then she ended up coming back. And normally that's lazy writing. In a Deadpool movie, it actually is kind of interesting, but I mean, typically lazy writing.
I'm curious if they still bring in, like, say, Domino and Cable, though. Do you bring back Zazie Beetz and Josh Brolin?
I would like to see them. Like, here's the thing: the Deadpool 2 ended with him having that Cable's time machine computer jumper thing, and I'm wondering if that might be like it goes haywire, and now not only can it time jump, but it can also multiverse jump, and it's one of those where they're at X-Force headquarters. I'm gonna finger quote way too many times tonight. They're at X-Force headquarters. And Cable realizes that he's had this time jumper thing the entire time, and him and Domino and they all three of them just managed to get into a fight, and then they time slide or shift over to the MCU universe, and then they're stuck there. I'm wondering if that's what happens.
That's going to be hilarious, though, because you're now having Josh Brolin as Cable moving into the actual universe where he first portrayed Thanos.
Yeah, which is funny because then that leaves open for Deadpool to be like, yeah, I called you Thanos in the last movie. You actually do look like Thanos in this dimension. Go figure.
And that brings up the point that actually has me the most interested in this, and kind of why I'm glad that the Fox transition happened in the middle of Deadpool's like lifespan. It's that now all the fourth wall breaking jokes that you could just barely play around with in the first two movies, you can just have a field day with in this movie. Like, oh, cool. They decided that we're good enough now to play with the big boys. Great. Like, yeah. Cool. I'm so glad to be owned and ran by a mouse now.
Or you'll end up having things with like Deadpool's like, oh, so not like that last movie where y'all killed off Robert Downey Jr. I mean, Iron Man. Like, yeah. It's something like that where he's going to call out the MCU as we know it right now and just completely demolish that fourth wall in the MCU. I think that's fantastic. That leaves open so many possibilities.
And what I think they could do, and what I think they could possibly play around with, and it would be very interesting, is if they go in the direction of, say, Deadpool kills the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. Imagine him running into like the Guardians of the Galaxy. He runs into Groot and like, I am Groot. And he's like, you are Vin Diesel. That would be fantastic. Why does that raccoon like Jackson, Maine? And where's Lady Gaga at?
Hi, Groot. Let me get you a Corona and...
Yeah. Don't you want to be driving a car really fast and really furiously? So here's the thing. The overall topic of this is not just that, yay, they're bringing Deadpool into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Disney is agreeing somewhat still can't do it. Somewhat cautiously to opening up an R-rated center of their world.
A branch.
Which I feel like I was talking to someone at some point about this, and the idea was like, if you make a studio for family films, you just keep it family films. You don't go and do something like buy 20th Century Fox and then you're stuck with all their R-rated material. Yeah. And trying to figure out what a family-friendly company like Disney would do with something like all the R-rated material from Fox. You would just keep your studio family-friendly, and it just stays that way. Disney has to do something with these movies. They have to still... I mean, you put these movies out, they're R-rated, you want to make money off of it. People still want to see R-rated material.
Yeah.
It's great that you could put it under like this 20th Century Studios banner now. Kind of like what they used to do is like their harder material used to go under like Touchstone. Like even Roger Rabbit was under Touchstone Pictures just because of the way Jessica Rabbit looked in that. And like some of the innuendo in that movie as well. But primarily Jessica Rabbit. So I like the idea of that. So this is where I'm coming back to Predator. Because there's no way you're going to do Predator PG-13, regardless of what AVP tried to do and failed. So yeah, you're going to have this R-rated section of Disney that's going to cater to all those.
So yeah, so what it brings up now is, okay, cool. You got Deadpool 3, you've got Predator, you have these franchises. What do they do with them now when their streaming service is primarily geared towards families and kids? Disney Plus operates specifically up to a PG-13 status. Not too many movies on that service even drop an F-bomb. You could probably count all the movies on that service that drop the F-bomb on like one hand.
I'm wondering if any of them do, actually. I know they hit all the ones on Hamilton.
Is First Class on there?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's right.
Well, if there's one movie on there, I'm correct. You can count it on one hand. So what I think we're looking
Dark
at,
Phoenix is on there.
Yeah. What I think we're looking at now, though, is that I know there's rumors out there that there was like this trailer that came out that was showing off it was leaked or whatever, that was showing off not only Black Widow coming to Premiere Access, which I believe is what Mulan did, but they're also showing like other movies within like the Fox franchise, like the Bad Times at El Royale. They were showing Predator. They were showing all sorts of movies that would otherwise be R-rated coming to a Disney 18 plus, which would be a whole subsection of Disney Plus geared for mature audiences, adults, and what have you. Now, the problem with that is that Disney has stated beforehand that they were only ever going to keep Disney Plus as family friendly up to that PG-13 rating. So what we know is that this trailer was apparently shown to investors during an upcoming, or will be shown to investors during upcoming investor meeting, and it's supposed to be released after that. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true. That whole trailer could be completely fake, which would make complete sense given what Disney has said prior about their streaming service.
But I can make a fake trailer. I mean,
yeah, it's very easy actually. You just find the font that they've used for Disney Plus, and boom, that's really all you need. Yeah. So what that means is Disney's got all these properties. If they're not going to make a mature section of Disney Plus, what do they do with them? Where do they make their money for those properties? And I think the answer still lies in Hulu.
Possibly. And I think that was like the original idea that they had when they first started this. At least that was what was rumored. It sounds like.
Because I mean, you look at Disney's got like a big controlling stake in Hulu. If they want to make money having that controlling stake in Hulu, they want to release their stuff on Hulu and get people to sign up for that. It behooves them to have at this point 2 streaming services that people can sign up for. They're making money from Hulu. They're making money from Disney Plus. They're doing both.
How about this though? What if they added in, and stay with me here because I know this is going to get confusing. What if they add in a 3rd streaming service?
No way.
Completely just catering to that mature, like Disney Plus.
That's not really a 3rd streaming service. Then that just removes their need for having any controlling stake in Hulu.
Well, I mean, Hulu still has like stuff where it caters to a certain types of movies are popping up on there, TV shows. I mean, you really don't see like regular TV shows popping up on Disney Plus. You see like some older TV shows, but Hulu is still essentially like a go-to place for, hey, did you miss that episode last night and you forgot to set your DVR? Hop on Hulu and watch it because it's up on Hulu the next day.
So, but the issue there is that you still want Hulu to be attractive to a majority. So what you're looking at needing to do is you need to have your stuff put on Hulu. A 3rd streaming service doesn't really work, especially because we're in the day and age where it's like, look, The Office is about to leave Netflix. It's going to go to Peacock. And as much as I love that show,
you can't say that word on this channel.
As much as everybody loves that show that takes place in a building about a paper company, it's still going to go to Peacock anyway.
You just said it again.
Oh, is it not? Office isn't the word I can't say?
You can say Office. I mean,
anyway, so Office is definitely going to go to Peacock, and
you said it again. Good Lord.
And so what happens is when Office goes to Peacock, nobody's going to sign up for Peacock at all. That joke is ran into the ground. Okay. My point being, though, is that it's going to leave from Netflix. It's going to go to that other streaming service, and it's a streaming service that nobody is signing up for right now. And someone like me who loves The Office would absolutely rewatch it time and time again. It's not going to go to that service. So we're looking at a time right now when there's so many freaking streaming services. And no, I don't think if you're Disney, I don't think you do create another streaming service. I think you utilize the 2 that you already have between Disney Plus and Hulu, and you put all that extra content on Hulu and just market Hulu as the, hey, this is the Disney Plus for you 18 plus crowd.
The only thing I could think of against that is that's where essentially in this conversation we're talking about all of your R-rated Fox movies that they now own, all being shown exclusively to Hulu. The idea I would have as Disney is I put all those Fox movies on Hulu, and because of the bigger value of Hulu, you now turn up the price of Hulu. Maybe Hulu increases by $1 or $1.50 or whatever the equivalent of that is in New Zealand to Malcolm. So I don't know, but you would increase that service. The problem is you got people that already subscribe to Hulu that really couldn't give two gosh darn nuggets about all these Fox movies coming to Hulu. They're just there for, like I was mentioning earlier, that TV show fix and maybe the occasional odd movie that plays on there. Yeah. It's not an increase in value to them, yet their subscription prices are going to go up. I can see it maybe if it goes to Hulu with like, hey, add the Fox movie section of Hulu for an added increase of $1 a month. That would make sense. I see that as being able to build money off of the value that's given on Hulu. And that's exactly what I think Disney is going to want to do. They're going to take these old movies that they had no stake in to begin with, and they want to increase revenue just because they now own those movies.
Yeah, and then maybe on the flip side, you still have a Disney 18 plus. They did actually decide to do this. In which case, they can go ahead and just create a whole section of Disney Plus where, say, if you're parents, you can only access it with a password. Or if you're folks like us who are adults with Disney Plus, you just say, "Yep, I'm good. Just integrate it all. Just mix it all in. Let it all be on one streaming service," and then that would work.
I want to hear all the F words.
Yeah, I want to hear all the F words. Real quick before we move on,
Garth. We love you, Garth.
I know the straight face always doing that.
How long did you have that one set up ready to go? Not for a minute, right?
About a minute. While you were saying whatever it is you were saying that I wasn't paying attention to just now.
Malcolm saying Hulu isn't available in New Zealand.
See, that's the thing with all these streaming services too. I can't remember if you guys even have HBO Max out there. I have a feeling. I'm pretty sure that HBO Max isn't available in a lot of places.
No,
either.
but they do have an entire streaming service dedicated to Peter Jackson. You can basically watch the entire Peter Jackson catalog, all the way from like Bad Taste to Lord of the Rings, whenever you want.
What's hilarious is that it has all 3 Lord of the Rings, all 3 Hobbits, and they're all the director's cut, which means you already have 136 hours of entertainment ready for you on that streaming service to go. So,
and that's not even including like when you want to like, I haven't seen The Frighteners in like 5 days. Let's watch that again.
Exactly.
Although I would love to have a streaming service that has like Dead Alive, or I guess Brain Dead, as y'all might know it in international, with your Pizza Huts.
I'm sure it's on Shudder, right?
No, Dead Alive is not on Shudder.
Interesting. Well, I know nothing about horror, so there you go.
Yeah, he says we don't have HBO Max either.
Yeah.
I have so many dad jokes. I must have an illegitimate child out there somewhere I don't know about.
Nice.
Father? No.
Daddy?
I don't think. Well, it might be physically possible. I don't know. I that's not what I want to use the brain power thinking about on this channel tonight, though.
You, maybe, me, probably.
It's possible. Anyways,
welcome to the Cinefanatics. This is what we do on this channel, apparently.
Yeah, so Deadpool going to MCU. I'm excited by this. I know that one's been kind of sitting out there in limbo for a while, and we've been really hoping that would happen. So I'm eager for that, just to see how much fun he could have with that.
Yeah. Now the question is, do we get that first or Free Guy?
Yeah.
At this point.
I'm eager. I'm eager for Free Guy. That looks good.
Free Guy is one of those that are kind of like it's been like delayed by the pandemic. We don't know when we're going to get it at this point.
What's this movie that he's doing with The Rock with Dwayne Johnson? Something Red or whatever. This sounds fantastic.
Hobbs and Shaw?
No.
Oh.
No, it's another movie.
I don't know. Is he going to be in the Black Adam movie?
No.
Darn.
Wait, that was breaking news too?
Just breaking.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that just about does it. Let me see what other stuff I have.
Potentially a short one tonight. Just good because I'm kind of like this right now, so it's all good.
Yeah, the fact that my brother's sitting up straight in front of his computer right now is nothing short of amazing.
Yeah.
If y'all have any other questions, comments, like let's leave this. Let's make this open. Like let's talk about some stuff. Red notice. That's it. Thank you, Garth. Let's. Do we want to talk about real quick? What is today? Tuesday. Oh yeah, we're doing the tagline. I'm live in front of the internet right now. It's a Tuesday night. Thursday's Thanksgiving. So first of all, happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. If you are outside of the U.S., namely in New Zealand, Malcolm, I don't know if y'all have a Thanksgiving, but as from us here in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Happy this Thursday.
At some point, y'all eat like a giant feast of food with family and friends and argue about politics.
Happy this upcoming Thursday.
Yeah. But something like that. Errolowl, is Chris duct taped to that chair? That's actually an idea we haven't tried yet. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
I hate that. Yeah.
Thanks, Rachel.
Again, that's why I have this bad boy.
What's your favorite Robert De Niro movie?
Jeez, I don't have one. Silence is golden.
I'm gonna quickly run through because I'm pretty sure I have one.
Oh, I'm sure you do, definitely.
And
don't say Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents was good, but I mean, I've seen that the comedy that was set up in that movie. I've seen that before, and it's kind of like, for example, I can't think of another one like Meet the Parents off the top of my head, but it's kind of like the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You've got the comedy movie where you've got the straight man and just the goof, and the goof unknowingly is just ruining the straight guy's day, like Due Date with Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr. Same basic idea. Oh, pretty much, yeah. So I've seen the kind of movie that Meet the Parents was, where you've got the person, he's trying hard to impress people, but he's causing all kinds of chaos unknowingly. I'm
gonna go with Stardust. Just kidding.
Stardust.
Yeah. It's the one with Charlie Cox and Claire Danes. He was a captain of a ship. It was a fantasy movie.
Oh,
you know which one it is. Just
okay.
It's unforgettable.
I'm looking over the list, and like the ones that I see, probably the one that there's a couple of them that I see Stardust on here. One of the ones, like, I really did like him in what's the one from last year? Where is it? Irishman.
Joker? Oh.
No, not necessarily Joker, but I did like the King of Comedy.
Yeah.
That's I would say that's one of my favorite, just because his character of Rupert Pupkin is so off the wall. Like, you watch all these movies, he's done like a lot of these Scorsese type movies, Irishman, Goodfellas, he's done these gangster roles so much, and even played like a very well centered but still crazy villain, like in Cape Fear, Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver is a very good one as well.
Yeah,
but I like the level of just lost his mind that he is in Kings of Comedy is fantastic. And that is pretty close to the character of Joker from The Joker, which I do love that now the roles switched and he's playing the host of the late night show.
That's what I like too, is that Joker is essentially a kind of a loose sequel to that, where he did actually get a late night show, and you can kind of see, spoilers for Joker, he got what was coming to him, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So I would say it's kind of like my favorite movie of him as like the gangster, just straight up Robert De Niro, like we are used to seeing him. Probably Irishman. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, for just the off the wall, I would have to say King of Comedy. And I'll be honest, haven't watched Raging Bull. I need to watch Raging Bull. And I have seen Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver was good. I mean, I can definitely see why that's a lot of people's favorites, but
I'm gonna have to go with The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, good Lord, where he was not secret leader, fearless leader. Yeah. That's actually, here's the thing. As stupid as that movie was, that actually was a really good role for him. Like he fit in with that fearless leader character perfectly.
Oh yeah.
So, if y'all have any other questions, anything else y'all want to put in?
Also, remember we still have the Streamlabs link if you want to send in anything. Anything and everything helps right now, while it's hard for some of us to go to work and make any money given our current physical state. But if you want to drop anything in there, that'd be super helpful, guys. Anyway.
So real quick, and this is going to be interesting because I had a conversation with my brother earlier about queuing up a particular video segment. Did you do that, and do you want to do that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There was something that was said on another YouTube video earlier, I guess today. You told me about it over the phone while I was at work. And I was like, we could probably talk about this if you have the video clip queued up so we can reference it.
I'm one who enjoys being completely honest with everybody. And the honest thing is I completely forgot that we had that conversation earlier. Oh, no, I do not have that footage queued up.
You do not? Do you want to try to get that footage queued up, or do we want to talk about that, or do we want to save that announcement for...
I would save it. I would
save it.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's something that we want to talk about, that potentially want to announce, and I guess we could. It would make more sense for us to probably talk about it on, let's say, potentially Thursday, the Schmodown replay. It is Schmodown related, so we will talk about it on Thursday, I would say.
Yeah.
But either way, overall, I still want to make sure that everyone has out there, and I don't have the image on here. I guess I could actually. Hey, Chris, vamp a bit.
Guys, first of all, I know our time is running down here. We just want to thank you so much for popping in and hanging out with us tonight. I know when some of us don't feel good, or the current state of the world, it's hard sometimes to put on a happy face and try to do a show. But I feel as bad as I feel, I at least I feel great enough to be able to do this show tonight. And I think you got to count what is you can as a huge win. And I think given how I felt yesterday and how I feel today, it's a huge win that I'm able to do the show today. And I love you guys, and I want to continue doing a show for all y'all, and I want to continue improving and getting even better than what we've got. So I hope that was good vamping.
It was. I got this knocked out like within 2 seconds of your vamping, but everything you said sounded very sincere, and I liked it. Oh, it was sincere. Okay, cool. Anyways, the other thing,
kind of, sort of, not really yet.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, maybe, no, not really. But That being said, I did still want to make sure we put out there. This is going to look weird because it's going to knock out the overlay, but there definitely is still the thing of hashtag Draft Cinefanatics. So make sure y'all still are tweeting that out, dropping it in chats. Those of y'all that are watching, help us out. We want this to be like the first like really fan driven drafting that all the managers, they have to look at this because the fans want it. This community for the movie trivia Schmodown is a huge community. It's an amazing community, and I'm happy to. I love being a part of it because I'm a fan first, and therefore I decided to do like this channel and stuff along with it. But I those of y'all know I've played already once. I want him to play in this. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want the fan support behind it. So yeah, make sure y'all tweet that out, drop it in the comments where appropriate. Please don't just go over to Good Mythical Morning and dropping a Draft Cinefanatics. They're not going to know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. He didn't say that, Garth. Stop it. I was listening and we're already in the draft. It doesn't matter.
Wait, is that what he said?
No, he didn't say that. Christian.
Oh, okay. Garth, you're going to scare me there, dude.
I was watching.
Anyways. Seemingly Garth is probably aware of what we're probably talking about. But anyways, take a drink. That counts. Okay. So yes, hashtag Draft Cinefanatics. Also, while we're out there, I don't want to sit there and just make it completely all about us. There's a lot of people in the fan community that has done really good work and have proven their movie knowledge abundantly over the course of doing shows and stuff. So I do also like I don't know how many of these people can actually be put into the draft, since there's actually a draft list. They have to make it on that list first, and then they'll be potentially drafted by a manager. But I'm still in favor of like adding, say, Maxwell from the PJ Campbell Network, Paul Denuzio from Call to Action. He did fantastic during the last general standing.
That was Tony nominated Maxwell.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. He's nominated for a Tony, guys. Did y'all know? Yeah. That's awesome. Apparently Jake from a certain point of view, is also really good at movie knowledge and could be on there.
Who knew?
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably the guys over there, and yeah,
he's big.
Yeah. So, like, I really do want to like champion a fan-driven draft. Let's get like these people that are fans of this community. Let's get them in there. Let's see what these fans can do, because you might have reactors or fans that will be like the next Dan Murrell, or at this point, Adam Collins even. Let's get them all in there. Let's see what people can do with this. So yeah. If you see any of the draft hashtags that are going on Twitter, retweet that. Let them know you want to see all the fans out there. And also the Draft Cinefanatics.
Yeah.
Anyways.
For sure, because like that's the big thing. If you like us, you like all these people who could potentially be in the draft, what you want to do is you want to really kind of tweet those things out to the managers out there and let them know, hey, you need to look at these two knuckleheads who talk about movies and enjoy movies and have been watching the Schmodown and playing along with it for years and years and years, longer than some people have actually been a part of the Schmodown who are a part of the Schmodown. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, let those managers know, hey, I want to see the Cinefanatics, and I think they'd be a good fit for your team. We're going to also, again, we're still going to be doing some reaching out of our own. So hopefully the paths cross between what we do and what you guys there in the community out there as well can do. And it lines things up, hopefully, right.
So Errolowl is saying, this Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for this online community, so thank you. Yeah, this community is fantastic. The way everyone rallied around for the Smash-a-thon is absolutely amazing. That was such a fantastic event, even though it apparently had a hiccup right when we were on screen for some weird reason. The whole thing overall was highly successful. Absolutely, It was great. I love that. Like, it had that hiccup, we lost everyone, and then everyone came right back, and we were able to just continue on with our weird segment that we were doing.
I love that hiccup that happened during us because life is funny sometimes.
Yeah,
funny. Oh, it happened during us. Cool.
Hamstracked is asking, since you're vamping, favorite vampire movie?
Again, I don't have one. Blade?
Probably Blade. I want to go something a little more classic, like the Draculas and whatnot. But
that Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did I go with that one? It just goes.
The other one that like I kind of like mentioning whenever I talk about vampire movies because I know nobody else ever talks about it, is Dracula 2000. Such a weird movie, but they did this like weird origin for Dracula in that movie, and I kind of dug the idea of like where Dracula came from, and it was kind of a cool idea, but yeah, the rest of that movie is just kind of sure, but the ideas behind it were pretty cool. Probably Blade. Blade is ultimately going to be one of my favorite vampire movies.
Yeah,
because I think it teetered the line of like actual vampires as you know it, and still being a something that made fun of vampire movies.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that.
Talking about the Smash-a-thon, Gar says, hoping all the various segments still go up, so I haven't all.
Has the second part actually processed yet?
I just looked it up. It's the second part is not yet on the channel, which at this point I am starting to wonder if it will be. I'm wondering if YouTube at this point has just, for some reason, lost the second part of the stream.
Yeah, which I hope not, because there was a lot of good content. Luckily, you had like Chris Clark was recording in the background, so a lot of the segments have been saved, and you've seen them pop up already online. So, but yeah, that'd be unfortunate if most of that got lost.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It just depends on whether or not they can. If those parts did get recorded, or if YouTube is still processing through it for some reason, was it over a week later?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we saw the movie guys posting theirs because theirs was fantastic. I'm actually the one I kind of want to go back and watch again was the Video Drews segment, the Video Chronic quiz, namely because there was such a good like brotherly tackle during that. That I know a lot of people who weren't able to see that because it was in the middle of the freaking night. A lot of people weren't able to see this action that everyone's on the internet's talking about. So I'm hoping that goes up so people can see the gloriousness of that. Vitamin C is in Dracula 2000. Yeah, she is.
I don't think Dracula can have vitamin C, right? Can't get into the sun.
No, the singer Vitamin C is in Dracula 2000.
Okay, so the problem here is that you just went no and then corrected me, whereas the proper response is yes and.
Okay. Anyways, the singer Vitamin C is in that, which was really weird. As we go,
we're going to work on that off camera.
We remember. Let's work on it on camera.
Yeah,
Fudge it. Let's go.
You suck at improv.
Say fudge.
You suck at improv.
Your mom sucks at improv.
She's been known.
Okay.
The night right there. Honestly.
Yeah. Your mom sucks at improv.
Oh, I'm tired. I need to eat and I need to rest. So
yeah, this has been fun. Here's the thing. I miss sitting at that desk, the table that we typically do this at, but this has been a lot of fun. I like having the ability to click on stuff like random things Garth says.
Yeah.
I like having that ability. But this is still like a lot of fun. I just miss sitting at that desk with that professional look. I love it.
There may be a way to integrate that with sitting out there too. And we might look into how to do that here pretty soon. But otherwise,
there is. It just takes a lot of like a learning curve on my part to make sure I figure out how to get that set up.
Yeah.
Good
Anyways,
those of y'all who are watching that are part of the Patreon, again, thank you for being a part of the Patreon. Thank you for supporting us. Every single dollar helps on there. If you are not a part of our Patreon, just do just $1. I mean, we're going into the holidays. It's a great time for giving. Give $1. Like, let's get 50 people on there all giving $1. That'd be great. There's only 7 of y'all watching at this exact moment I say that, so I don't know how I'm going to get 50, but everyone who's watching this later, like $1, that'd be cool.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, so I mean, continue to donate those dollars, and we'll keep him from doing that impression ever again. Yeah, I just don't want to see when you do like the impression from The Fly with the vomit dropping of the donut. Yeah. Anyways, Patreon's available. Make sure y'all hop on that. Help us out. Would be great. And I'm sure I just dropped $1 in the super chat.
Thanks, I'm shocked.
You can do that on the Patreon where you don't have to do it in the super chat and it just goes on a monthly basis. That's fantastic. Anyways,
good. I like that.
Hey, Chris, vamp again.
Vamping is that we also have $1 from Garth over in the Streamlabs. This is to pay for Chris not doing the Goldblum impression. Fair.
That's fantastic.
What's funny is that on SCN they get paid $20 to do impressions, and here on our channel we get paid $1 not to.
You know, I'm thinking outside of the box. I think we tried that $20 do an impression thing, and you do pretty good impressions of people, and I am still pretty much struggling at the few that I can do. I'm pretty good at like cartoon impressions. You're good at like actors.
Hey, Peter, what we need you to do is just get better at your impressions.
Yeah.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Yeah. Hey, Peter. No. It's too much. I'm going to punch you in the face in front of your daughter in the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's
you have been awarded 1 credit of the verbal.
That's a throwback to our Patreon watch along we just did for Demolition Man. Again, that's available on Patreon if you guys want to jump on there and check it out. So we are pimping our stuff out like crazy tonight, and that's how you do.
Hard.
That's how you do when you're trying to create a brand and do stuff on the YouTubes. You got to pimp your stuff out.
Anyways, so as we close this up, this coming Thursday, we will be doing the Schmodown replay. Is going to be Deception versus Odd Couple. We do have a special guest for that, and it is someone who's currently in our chat right now. So eager to have him on. This is the first time that we're getting essentially a Cinefanatics fan on for this. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with this episode. So if you're not doing anything Thanksgiving night, you're tired of eating and you just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy some people watching a Schmodown episode, come back to the Cinefanatics. Let's have some fun. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Central Time. That's 7 Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
We just determined that we should call our fans Fanatics.
Fanatics? I don't know. I'm okay with Cinefanatics just because you're also fans of the Cinefanatics, so you're fanatics of the Cinefanatics. We could call it Fanatics. I don't know. Like, what do the fans think?
Everybody's a Cinefanatic.
Let the fans name themselves.
Again, what I talked about when we were saying that we were going to change up the Patreon, create the Discord and everything, and build a community. I think the idea is still that, honestly, while we are the faces of this brand, God save us, everybody is a cinefanatic. Everybody's is going to be a part of building this community that we want to try to build together. So everybody is a cinefanatic, but
we are Legion. Anyways,
essentially, yeah. Basically,
Cinefan, fanatics. Yeah, all of those just roll right off the tongue.
It's our cinnamon crew. That's it. Everybody's part of the cinnamon crew.
I actually kind of like that. The cinnamon crew. That's the spice crew.
It's too bad cinnamon is such a long word. I would want it to be shorter. The Cine crew. Movie loving people. I mean, honestly, that acronym does work for a lot of different things I've been thinking about as I'm trying to set up different stuff.
Yeah. Like some cartoon about ponies.
You can stop bringing that up now.
Yes, we are going to be doing it Thanksgiving Day. It's still going to be that night. So we'll probably be all like tired off of our tryptophan, but
the honest truth is that we would do family, but the mom is up in a different state and there's no traveling there. And our dad is, I think, going out of town with his wife, and
no, Dad's joining us.
No, he's not.
This is a flashback to a joke made earlier in this evening.
It's not a flashback, it's a throwback.
Flashback, whatever.
No, our dad is either out of town or in his 55 plus living retirement community, whatever. And nobody's going to visit that community right now anyway, because pandemic. So yes, I get it. So yes, on Thanksgiving night, we will be doing our own Thanksgiving, and then we will be jumping on and hanging out with all you guys for this wonderful, wonderful holiday. And Cinemonsters, nice. Also, I would like to highlight, Hamshrek said every dollar helps. I'll hit up the Patreon too. Hamshrek, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Feel free to continue dropping in those movie trivia questions because, you know, studying, it helps.
Yes, that is going to be something that I believe that we are going to be doing on Patreon at some point as well. So,
yep.
Anyways,
we're going to go ahead and call it a night for this. So make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Cinefanatics MLP. You can also follow us at our individual Twitter and Instagram. There's Robert Adams MLP. My brother apparently has one too below his name. I believe that's also a Chris Adams MLP if we're following the branding properly. Yeah. So make sure you follow us on all of those. And I think that's it. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. It's been a lot of fun. This has been really good, this setup. Anyways, don't patronize us. Oh, wait, dude. Yes, please. You can patronize us for $1 if you like.
Got you $1.
Yeah. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all had a good time. Please come back next Tuesday for the whatever the show's called. I believe it's the tagline. Next Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30, 10:30.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Oh, that's right. We could quote movies on this too. It's a movie-related channel. Go figure. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. Y'all all have a great evening. As for my brother, as for myself, we'll see you later.
See ya.
Typically, we would just play the music, but I mean, I don't have that as a track, so that's what we got. Anyways, good night, y'all.